Hi, this is Nana Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, August 7th, 2017. Looking at the next few days, the main fire potential impacts will occur this afternoon. There is some concern for a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms across the northern part of our area. You can see that area of concern highlighted in red on the impact map for today. And then as we move into Tuesday, we will see storms become more wet in nature across the entire area. So we will see thunderstorms moving into Tuesday, but the threat of dry lightning decreases moving into Tuesday. And as usual, anytime we have these thunderstorms, there is the risk for some gusty and erratic winds in the vicinity of thunderstorms. Over the past 24 hours, there was quite a bit of activity across the Great Basin. Some pretty strong thunderstorms across the southern and western portions of the area. You can see from this precipitation map on the right or on the left that there were some pretty significant accumulations across southern Utah, southern Nevada, and western Nevada. Along with these storms, there was a pretty significant amount of lightning as well. With those storms, there were a few new fire starts. Of note is this new start across western Nevada. Over the past 7 days, the majority of the precipitation has been across the southern part of the Great Basin. It's been relatively dry further north, and you can see from the image on the right how that compares to normal. And it's really only portions of southwestern Utah, southern Nevada, and the Arizona Strip that have seen near or above normal precipitation over the past 7 days. ERCs are quite high across the northern part of the Great Basin. You can see many stations reporting ERCs above the 80th and even the 90th percentile across the northern part of the area. Further south, as it has been the case for quite some time, ERCs are well below the 50th percentile. If we look at 10-hour fuel moisture, a similar picture appears. You can see the driest conditions across the northern part of the Great Basin with those low 10-hour fuel moistures. And taking a look at the live fuel moistures, those live fuel moistures have generally been decreasing over the past few months, as you would expect at this part of the fire season, but they've leveled off a bit over the past 2 weeks. This satellite this morning shows moisture across much of the Great Basin, and that will be responsible for the thunderstorms that we are expecting across the area today. So for today, the image on the left shows the general weather pattern for this afternoon. You can see the moisture that is in place across much of the northern part of the Great Basin, and that is what is bringing the concern for the dry lightning. You can see we're highlighting the risk of dry lightning across much of the northern part of the Great Basin this afternoon. Looking in more detail at the forecast, this image on the right shows the areas that are expected to see those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And you can see that really the majority of the Great Basin will see those storms develop, but again, our main concern is across the northern part of the area where there is the greatest potential for those thunderstorms and where fuels are the driest. If you look at relative humidities, you can see they are the highest across the southeastern part of the area. Moving into Tuesday, some moisture lingers across the north, but by Tuesday afternoon, storms that we see will be mostly wet in nature, so we are not highlighting any thunderstorm risk for tomorrow afternoon. And if we take a look at the forecast in a little more detail for tomorrow, again, from the map on the right, you can see that about the northern 2/3 of the Great Basin will see those storms develop tomorrow afternoon. Relative humidities will be pretty high across the area. They'll be the lowest across the western part of the Great Basin, but in general, most of the storms that develop tomorrow will be wet. As we move into Wednesday, pretty similar picture, moisture across the north, a little drier across the southwest. And so with that moisture remaining in place across the northern part of the Great Basin through Wednesday, we will see those storms develop again on Wednesday afternoon across the Great Basin. The relative humidity forecast on the left shows that things will dry out a little bit across the south by Wednesday. So over the next 3 days, the precipitation accumulation is expected to focus across the northern 2/3 of the Great Basin. As we move into Thursday, that moisture lingers across the northern part of the Great Basin. We continue to see dry conditions across southern Nevada, southwestern Utah, and these are areas that haven't been too dry over the past little while, so that's new for the south to be dry. Then as we move into Friday, similar conditions with the drying conditions across the southwestern part of the Great Basin. Moving into Saturday, that dry air makes a push northwards. And then on Sunday, we continue to see dry conditions across the west with lingering moisture across the northeast. Over the next 7 days, pretty much the entire Great Basin is forecast to see precipitation, but the greatest accumulations will be across the northern and northeastern portions of the Great Basin. Finally, in the 8 to 14 day period, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across the western part of our area, below normal temperatures across the eastern part of the area, with below normal precipitation across the eastern portions of the Great Basin. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.